Probably helps if you add yourself to the stream. Then people actually hear you. Oh, sound check. Okay, so let me mute that. And I'm not sure. I believe. Okay. All right, I think I got it now. All right, now let's see. Let me take this off here. Take this off. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me, whoever's joining me. It might be me. At me. If not, shout out. Hello. Anyways, today I am a complete scatterbrain, pretty much. I'm all over the board. So that's what you're getting tonight is all over the board. So I hope you're buckled up and ready. Not that it's going to be that exciting. Who knows? It could get exciting. If we start watching stuff on Telegram, then possibly, yeah, maybe. And if you're welcome on Cloud Hub, welcome to DLive, welcome DLive, welcome Twitch, welcome Cloud Hub, and YouTube. I believe that's where I'm streaming. YouTube, Twitch, Cloud Hub. What's the other one? Oh, Telegram, and what was the other one? Cloud Hub, DLive. Yeah, DLive. That was the other one. Okay. So yes, that's where I'm streaming. So welcome. I do have a few things I want to go over. I am going to start reading a little bit into the binding and loosing. I'm not going to go too far into it because I'm still doing some research, but I kind of want to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at in regards to how that's used and so forth. Then, or in conjunction with, we have I have some things here. I have quite a few things here that I'm have in my folder for research, and I may go over a few of these things. Oh, that's like somewhere else. Like things like what is a double portion blessing? What is MMWR, which is morbidity and mortality weekly report. Then things like, and I'm not talking about these things today. These are just things that I have on my list. And when I say that I'm like all over the board, I really mean I'm all over the board. Do-do-do-do. I wonder if, hold on a moment. Let's see. That looks good. Okay, so we can move that down and this up. Okay, then I see that we don't need that. So I don't even, yeah. My Twitch follow, bear with me. I have something messed up and I cannot get into my account. I can, but I've got to do some research, some folder digging. So I'll be doing that in the next week or so. But I have things that I'll bring up, and you may have heard by listening to some of my other videos talking about books and movies and things like that. I'll definitely always be bringing that up because if you notice right now, a lot of the movies and TV shows that are going on is completely what's getting ready to come, especially like the fire stuff. Like Polis just advertised a bunch of commercials for bumping up the fire departments in Colorado or Denver or whatever. And I just find it odd that we know that they plan things and we know that they tell us things that they're planning and so forth and so on ways. But the people that still don't have their eyes open, don't see them like we do. It's like we hear them right away. We don't even have to be watching the commercial. We just can be listening and we know exactly what's going on with it. So they really can't hide anything anymore. And Jenna Griswold, what a joke she is. I think I think I might do some roasting Jenna Griswold because she's a piece of work. Let me tell you what, she's all acting like she's all that right now when everybody freaking hates her. I mean, everybody hates her. This woman has no couth whatsoever. It's like, and I think that she's doing that because she knows she's on her way out. I don't even know who's freaking running for Secretary of State. I know Tina Peters was, and she lost. And there's things going on behind the scenes that everybody doesn't know about. And I'm not going to say them because it's hearsay at this point. But it's like there's always things going on that they're not telling us. And whatever you're seeing in the media is not the truth. It may be portions of the truth, but it's not all the truth. So you can't look at it one way or the other. You take basically half and half and you throw that together and you kind of keep that on the back burner. And then when you get more information, truth, whatever, you can put in there and put some more puzzle pieces together, then you'll come to a conclusion and figure it out. I will be talking, I want to talk to Aqua Mariah about this topic that I came across. I kind of wanted to do a skit with it because we've been talking about doing something and surprising you guys with. So, and I'm not going to say what it is because it'll totally blow it, and I'm not going to blow it because it's going to be funny as shit. Okay, anyways, the fake light crap. I like how I put stuff like this because it's like I'll just be writing something or reading something and I'm like, I'll just get this epiphany or I'll get this thought or I'll get this word or I'll get this line or this cliche or something. But it's funny because when you go online and you look for things, it's like take the law of attraction, for example. Okay, the law of attraction. I don't have anything incriminating on my wall, anything, do I? I don't think so. We gotta get Greenbeard in there though. Okay, Greenbeard, you gotta come in the pit. No, this way. This way. Am I malicious too? Oh, jeez. Okay, whatever. I hate this shit. Never mind. Okay, so anyways, it's weird looking at myself in like 5 different grades. Would you like to look else instead of my ugly mug? Let's see. Maybe we can just run some. Let me see what I've got here on my. I don't know why I did it. That was stupid. Let's see. Do. Documents, downloads. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that's really long enough, though. I'll figure it out. Anyways, when I want to do a commercial on this because I think it's funny. It just amazes me. And it's like, I'm right in there. I believe some of this shit too. It's like, we're not all, yogurt. The great and all-powerful know-it-all. Anyways, the fake light crap. Okay, so the 12 spiritual laws of the universe, which we know that the universe is in a dome. Okay, anyways. So, and it's like, we as humans are confined in the space, in this dimension, in this plane of existence, where this world was created for our bodies to reside in. Not in the water, but on land. Okay? So that's our dimension, is this where we live. But these other beings, not aliens, they're not from outer space. They are definitely from out of the dome, but now they're cursed and they're trapped here. And Sheol is below us, which is hell. Okay, so it's like, who's to say that Sheol isn't bigger than the world that we encompass, that it spreads, and that the world is actually bigger outside of the ice wall? Who's to say? We don't know. Okay, we're finding things out. But when it comes to the universe stuff, that's where we need to realize that there's one person in charge of everything. And all these lesser beings are just flitting around, creating chaos and ruining people's lives and killing babies and killing people and murder and mayhem and chaos and domination and manipulation and intimidation and all this other stuff that's going on, that's like super spiritual, but everybody wants an alien factor on it. And it's like, if you learned about your history a little bit deeper than what the media tells you, which we know now is a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, so the 12 universal laws, the laws of the universe, are the law of divine oneness, which is automatically like committing the first commandment sin, okay? Treating yourself like God, which is what the enemy wants you to do. First thing, okay? Pride. The law of vibration, which is like, I haven't looked up all of these yet, because I really don't care, to be honest with you, because I know it's all a bunch of, they take a bunch of scientific jargon, now that we know it's jargon, and they try to, put relevance to their imagination, or whatever it is that they're trying to change in our books and in our minds, and to teach us a completely different scenario than what's actually going on. It just amazes me that people are still paying universities to go and learn how to be brainwashed at a very young age. And it's funny now, because I probably have one or two people left that I speak to that I speak to from when I went to the university. And I just deleted my Facebook and forgot to like send out everybody a message, hey, this is my phone number. So I basically just said with everybody I know, with no way to contact me if they didn't have my email or phone number already. So it'll be interesting. But I know where people live, and I'll get in contact with people that I need to get into contact with, like Chip, and people that I already know I have contact with, like Pamela. But these laws, the law of vibration, respondence, the law of attraction, the law of inspired action, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, the law of cause and effect, the law of compensation, the law of relativity, the law of polarity, the law of rhythm, the law of gender. That was just added recently, by the way. Um, and at the end of this, what I found interesting word throughout that whole list was like the divine oneness on the first one, treating yourself like a god, divine oneness. Not, or it could be taken the other way, divine oneness and becoming one with the divine. Not that way. Then it goes down and it talks about transmutation of energy. Transmutation is a form of alchemy. I'm having issues with shit. Like even just, just food because of the milk. Look at milk. Okay, so I used to drink milk and I don't drink milk anymore. Plus, it gave me such huge, enormous, intense hot flashes that I would be like, yeah, too intense. So I stopped drinking milk and that really helped. And now I drink half and half with my coffee, and I have 1 or 2 cups, maybe 3 cups a day with creamer in it. And I still do not get hot flashes. No, not even with the cheese. I mean, there's a little bit here and there of stuff, and I kind of recognize, but nothing like milk. So if you have hot flashes and you drink milk, stop drinking milk, even organic. I'm telling you, it's the process. It's the super processing of the milk, I believe, is what just, yeah, no thanks. I'll pass. Um, but at the end, after that, the transmutation of energy, at the end, it says unleash, which this is where I'm going to go next with the binding and the loosing, because there are certain words that if you start paying attention to, you'll start noticing them more and more. And you'll start going, wait a second. This is too much of a coincidence, and it's not a coincidence. Do you know what I'm saying? But it says here, unleash, which I am not unleashing anything to manifest. Trust me. Unleash your full manifesting potential. Okay, so what that tells me in my brain now, that I'm taking steps closer to God and further away from this world, setting myself apart, that by doing what I'm doing, I'm walking away, but unleashing your full manifesting potential. Unleash. That means let loose, free reign, go, run, do your chaos. Your full manifesting, which in reality, all these things are demonically driven. Okay, so if you're taking one of these and you're unleashing your full manifesting potential, that's some serious shit, people. And people don't realize. And it's like, I have never touched a Ouija board, although I have played with a magic 8 ball. So I had to, cut my ties with that, because we have to. I believe we have to do that. Derek Prince is a really great resource for finding out, if things just, you pray about things and you give God everything, and then you notice things are still going on. Then there's still things in your life that you haven't either brought to the surface to give to God and to, be done with it, or you just haven't got there yet. So I think that's where I am, because I just have some weird shit and I'm like, I'm tired of it. I just want to be done with this crap. But it's a process, and I believe that's what it is. But just remember, that one of the reasons I wanted to bring that up is we'll be talking, Aqua Mariah and I are going to be talking about a lot of the light stuff, a lot of the Trump stuff, a lot of the Q stuff, and we're not for or against. We're in the middle, and we're just looking at everything across the board. So you're not going to get positive or negative. You're just going to get straight up truth in regards to what we found out for the information that we want to show what we found. There's also something to remember when it comes to the fake light. That the Masons believe that Jesus is Lucifer. So if you're meeting Masons and they're saying they're Freemasons, they're still tied to a oath, and as soon as they come to God, they have to give up that, so they wouldn't be a Mason anymore. So it's like, you can't be a Christian and a Mason. Doesn't work that way. And there's also there's just, I'll just be blunt, there's sex going on in your churches, in every church, and on every level, and from, and I mean in every group, from the bottom to the top. I really sometimes get frustrated with visions or words of knowledge or things like that, because they're so judgmental, and I have to repent and ask God, is this me or is this you? Because I don't like that if it's me. But if it's God, what does he want me to do with that? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I have become that, I'm very curious to see how people will handle when God starts revealing their sins to other people, to reveal to them in public. And because I don't, it's weird. I love people. I can connect with almost anybody. Probably anybody that's, pretty much not, demonized. And even if they are, it would be to certain levels of tolerance on both parties. But just remember that with all these dumb universal spiritual laws, the universe crap, God's law is the only supreme law in our land, the whole land, everything, everywhere, everyone. Not the Queen, not King Trump, not And it's like, if you guys get offended, if I don't get offended if I say King Trump, because when I can show you, as a matter of fact, I might do that tonight. I might show a couple of clips, because it isn't even, it's just, I think that I'm super sensitive to knocks against God. I don't like people that compare themselves to God. I don't like people, well, I can't say that I don't like them. I just don't agree with that action, because to me that's rotten fruit. Nobody compares themselves to God, even though we're in God's image. We're an image, which is like kind of interesting, because to think about that one, graven images. Yeah, just remember, God's laws are the only supreme laws, not those laws. Coming up, frequencies and vibrations. If you haven't figured out yet that music is being used against you, you might want to think about that. Because I know that there's stuff that, and I know I've talked about this 100 times, but there's stuff that my son would listen to, and he just couldn't understand what I was trying to explain to him about that stuff. And it's like, it isn't a knock on his personal choice of music. The music is like flames. You know what? Where is that? I want to see if I can find that. This is what I'm trying to accomplish, is to put a little bit more fun into this, and be the funny person that I used to be. Let's see. And go back to that stuff. It's like, how long is this? Come on, how long is it?
Suicidal.
Yeah, it's a commercial. Calm down. Okay, bear with me. Stupid stuff. Oh, and then they go, video will play after the ad, and then they put on another ad. Okay. Let's see, where is she? She. I know you're here. Where are you? Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so, yeah, and I already forgot what I was talking about, but let's watch it anyways, because this is something I've been meaning to send to Aqua Mariah anyway, so let's look at it. It's funny. And I like funny. Did I get it? No, that's not it. Duh. Okay, let's try that again. One more time. Share screen. Here we go. Okay.
Yes, I did it. I killed Yvette. I hated her so much. Flames on the side of my face, heaving breaths.
It's a tough crying city. I've ever definitely seen that. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way. One thing I am good at is I know movies, especially comedies and sci-fi fantasy. Even the silly, dumb, like ones like Ella Enchanted, I thought was done so well. And A Knight's Tale, that was another one that was done very well. But getting back, other we were on the frequencies and the vibrations and music and stuff. But my son just wouldn't understand that some of the music that he listened to would just make me. It would go inside my brain and completely melt my brain. And it wasn't anything other than um, a physical reaction. It wasn't a taste in music. It wasn't other than a physical reaction to a foreign entity inside my brain. So that tells me that they're going to use frequencies as a tool against us. So I advise people to have backup earplugs and those noise canceling, that people have for guns and stuff. Get a pair of those, or like use them for when you're like a sculptor. Yeah, because I had them for grinding, so you don't ruin your ears, and for doing yard work and stuff like that. Get some of those, and I want to get one of those beanies that keep out the electromagnetic stuff, because there is an app on your phones that um, there's an app on your phone that tells you how much ampage is coming out from whatever you're putting it next to, and it's very revealing. It's very, very revealing. So I encourage people to do things like that. um, I definitely want to get the beanie. Definitely want to get the beanie. But the frequencies, that's also, you have to think about that, like the sound machines that they use for warning systems, that can be used against us. These towers that they're building. I'm also going to be doing at least one. I don't think it would take up more than one show. And show you guys how to look up antennas and towers in your area and just see exactly how much is going on, because you would really be surprised. I mean, like I said, I live in a small town, but the shit that's going on here, and the towers and antennas that go up. And I love the fact that I can look on this information website and see that people have posted that it's basically nobody's business what I'm doing with my um, antenna, which I thought was really interesting. Um, and it makes you wonder. I mean, if I wish there was a way that, no, I'm not even going to say it. Anyways, okay, so the antennas, check that out. We'll be doing that. The frequencies and vibrations, with the, also be advised that there are videos, I think I saw it on YouTube and TikTok, but there is one, as far as I know, weather machine that is like a boat that is out on the ocean. And it can create a tsunami. It's like a wave machine, like at amusement parks. Just ginormous. Like, carrier size. You know what I'm saying? That size. of the place. Hello, whoever joined. And then even with the frequencies and things like that, because I think the 5G towers will be used as places that they're going to push out the frequencies and stuff like that. And the buzzing and ringing that people are hearing in their ears, the tendonitis and some of those other things. I've been seeing some reports about just oddities that people are starting to question some things. And even, okay, so like here's a good one. If you start thinking about, I still got to do a metal detox. If you think about pitch tune, oh, that's another one. Holy cow. I have a list of, it's kind of odd. It's my list of threes. And the reason I say it's my list of threes is I got started thinking about, I've been on this word search, that words matter. You can see that words matter. Okay. But this particular one, I just started, I had a bunch of stuff written down and I went through it. And remember I'll go back to that. We were talking about the frequency. Okay. But I need to add this to this, and I'll tell you why. The threes, how things work in threes in this world, or how they've generated those threes in our world. And the first thing I see is, of course, the Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? So then I went, it even goes into things like triptychs. Triptychs are a 3-panel hinged artwork that usually depicts something religious. Okay, then which I thought was interesting because even it's called the triptych, but it's in the threes. Okay, so that's panel, 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 and then it has something different in each panel. But then it goes on in my mind, and I'm like, primary colors: red, blue, and yellow. And then I thought about the mechanics of red, blue, and yellow and how they're set up on a color wheel. And then I thought of the symbolism that it would represent, which is the 3 circles coming together and meeting in the center so that they create that center whirly bird thing, the 3 winged with the triangle in the middle sort of thing, whatever. Here, this thing right here. This thing right here. This guy. And you see that on like movies and stuff, like at least the old stuff. Then it went on to a 3-ring circus. Okay. 3 little pigs. Then it went on to the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Then it went on to 3 feet in 1 yard. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. Heart, mind, and soul. Longitude, latitude, and altitude. Length, width, and height. Fuel, oxygen, and heat. People, planet, and profit. Affirming, denying, reconciling. Desire, emotion, knowledge. That's from Plato. Which is funny because desire is I believe is one of the sins in the garden. And then emotion is what we're dealing with today. There's absolutely no knowledge. Well, at least with the brainwashed. Religion, philosophy, science. The world, I have in parentheses. Love, mercy, and grace. I have God in parentheses. Hour, minute, and second, I have God in parentheses. Because our world is basically made up like that. If you look down upon our world, it's set up like a clock. The moon and the sun go around like hands on a clock. Hour, minute, second. Past, present, future. Then, getting back, let me put this back. Where did I have that? Oh, that was right here. Okay. Then, getting back to the buzzing and the ringing in the ears. Pitch, tune, and frequencies. So I have to add that one to that list. But see what I mean? And it's like, as you guys watch this, you're gonna know your own, and you're gonna go, hey, Milo, here's another one. Hey, here's another one. Because our world is made up like this. I'm just completely amazed. Just completely amazed. I think it's very, very interesting. Yeah, we'll get back to that. But the frequencies and vibrations, it's a serious thing when it, becomes something that hurts you physically or could hurt you physically. And we need to be aware that we're being attacked by the enemy. It's like, even when I ride the bus, everything is so crappy on the buses here. I mean, they do not take care of their shit. I'm talking, it's so dilapidated that shit's like falling apart, coming disconnected, like the rails where you like hold on to and stuff and move from place to place are coming apart from the ceiling and the wall. The seats are so messed up that they vibrate so loud when the van is running that it creates a noise so loud that it hurts your ears, and you can't even put headphones on and turn your radio up loud enough to cover the noise that the bus makes with the vibrations from the crappy non-fixing of the vehicles. It's and people wonder why people lose their shit in places. It's like, frequencies and vibrations is really a big thing. I mean, it really, really is a big thing. Drums, feet pounding, it affects your organs. Like when I remember going to like concerts and stuff, and I couldn't get close to certain speakers because it would hurt my insides. I had to get away. And others I could be next to because it didn't hurt my insides. It just like blew out my eardrums and I can't hear now. What? See? That's what I mean. I can tell you that I believe the angels are on the frequency level, and that we don't hear them because we're not tuned in. But I can tell you that when I was tuned in at particular times in my life, I've heard them singing, and there is nothing. And I can say that there is that one video of where they're talking about how they did the sound check at this one particular thing that they had, this worship time. And somebody, even a kid, said, there's a big angel standing up there. And they were trying to pinpoint a sound that was coming from somewhere they couldn't pinpoint on a person. And then they started realizing it was, 12 foot in the air, blah, blah, blah. And the sound that they recorded is pretty identical to the sounds that I heard when I heard angels singing. Because it was a different angel. You know what I'm saying? So they have different voices. They have different tones and sounds. But I knew that's what it was because of how it sounded. So it's like, there won't be any mistaking it for me. No mistaking it whatsoever. There just won't be. It's either good or it's bad. Pretty simple. And you're either filled with light or you're filled with darkness. And it's a choice. No spit. Seriously. Shit. These are a couple things. I'll read you a couple things here. We are out of tune. Our body is so polluted that we all need to do a metal detox along with an apple cider vinegar detox to decalcify our joints, but to mostly decalcify our pineal gland. That's another thing I'm going to be doing soon, is the second part of my pineal gland series. But we are so out of tune in this hurry up world, a world where we no longer go out into nature to get back in tune with our Creator. And I just watched a video today, and let me see. I hope I didn't. Here it is. Let me see if I can pull it up. I hope this is the one. Come on. You can do it. It's thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking. It's thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking. I have no idea what it's thinking. You thought we were full. No, that's not it. Okay, so parasites? No, that's not it. Where's the guy? Do. There's a guy that he set up, he wanted to reconnect himself to the earth. And he realized that, it's shoes, grounding shoes. And it was very interesting. Let me see if this is it. I hope this is it. No, that's not it either. I'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it somewhere. It's pretty good though. But yeah, so I want to check these shoes out and get some. I just wonder if that's part of my problem. I know I need to get a metal detox, because basically if we don't, and we just continue on without being metal detox, we'll go crazy. Everybody needs to stop and smell the flowers wherever you go. Okay, so getting back to things that we'll talk about and research, some of the things that I'm researching. Like the Gilgamesh door that speaks, and Nar, and also check out America Unearthed on YouTube, the History Channel, that series. He's really good, and he does a really great one on the Grand Canyon. You should check that one out. NAM, National Academy of Medicine. Keep your eye on those people. Of course, that's like old news. I'm finding out that there is a lot of homosexuals that are pastoring and worship leaders, from what I understand, in a lot of these bigwig churches and things like that. And y'all, not okay. You're living a sinful lifestyle. And if you're not smart enough to understand that you are, and that we're all sinners, and that anything that keeps us away from God is a sin, including marriage. You can't use that as a reason for divorce, but it's like, people, you don't realize how much control Satan has over everybody and their sexual desires. It is the most powerful thing on this planet. It just blows me away to see how much is going on like that. There is a guy, Kramer Says, on TikTok. He's got something, he's opening up a platform, his own platform, on the 17th. And I may do a live stream and see if I can't show him wherever I can find him and put him on so you guys can see him. He's pretty cool. Things that I've been told to research: statutory law, common law, maritime law, and United States corporation, which we all know what that shit is, at least the people that are awake. I have a lot of researching going on with the flower wristbands on the giant trans humans on the Egyptian hieroglyphics. They have this flower wristband, and I just wonder if it's a watch, and that's just how they understood what a watch was, or a telecommunicator, or whatever. But I just wonder if that flower, I'll have to play around with that art-wise, because I think if I do that, I might be able to answer my own question. I'm finding that I'm really hating the art world because they've perverted it, and they have taken every graven image and perverted it. And I just want to see all this stuff destroyed, all this crap art, all these demigods, just to be struck by lightning would be the best. Read the Apocrypha, books that were taken out of the Bible. If you're not questioning everything at this point, including the Bible, then you're not awake. I'm trying to get on Foxhole, but I think I have to partner or something. The Sabbath is coming up Saturday. Check out Zombie Ants. I found it interesting when I was reading some stuff on like when they were making the clothing for the tabernacle for the priests to wear when they went before God in the tabernacle. A lot it's very, very specific. It has to be sewn a certain way. It has to have a certain lining. It has to have embroidered on it, like this one for the worship, because I believe I'm part of the Levites, which is the worshipers, the musicians and things like that. But I believe that, or they have that when they had to sew like gold thread, and then add bells to their clothing, but they had to sew little pomegranate on their clothing. It's just some interesting details. Oh, and just to let you know, I am a descendant of the North American Indian Muskogee Creek, Alabama Mississippian, and I am 1/8 No, I'm 1/16 because my mother was an eighth. Her mother was half. Half? Does it say here? Yeah, if she was half, and it was a quarter. Yeah, then I would be an eighth. No, I'm an eighth, which doesn't qualify me for anything. But um, I know that there are other things that are involved with the North American Indian tribes, more than we're being told. But I do have ties to them, and I'm very grateful for those. My grandfather was a Civil War hero. Was a Civil War hero. Yes, I said my grandfather. I never knew my grandparents. They were deceased many years before I was born. My mother was 38. My father was 58 when I was born. My father was in World War II stateside because he was too old to serve overseas. So he was here like paper pusher. I think it's like I think he does like an inventory guy of weapons and stuff like that. You know, just everything. Um, I don't. My grandfather on my mother's side was insane, so I don't talk about my mother's side very much. There's a lot of curses and a lot of um, sexual curse stuff. That yeah, it's just yeah, I don't even want to go there. Uh, let's see what else do we have to talk about. Vanguard and BlackRock. It's a good topic. Superstitious Mountain. Leyline. Look up state parks. State park missing persons. Check out the United Nations or in every national park in America. There is an anti-Sharia law movement in America, which absolutely should be in every city, in every state. Uh, yeah, I have a lot of stuff on Nephilim written all over the place. Blue Bloods. I was thinking today how interesting it is how they use TV show names for things that, we're dealing with, learning about um, who's behind the scenes, like the Blue Bloods, and that there's an actual TV show, even though it's nothing to do with the Blue Bloods. But then I thought about it. Maybe it does. Maybe that's where all of the Blue Bloods, not the cops, but the Blue Bloods actually go for work. And I just found that interesting. I wouldn't be surprised. That's the first place that they go. Because the ones that I've encountered, especially out here, definitely demonically influenced just by how they talk to me. I'm like, I even when I was living in sin, when people talk to me, I could I they were using manipulation, domination, and intimidation on me. Especially now looking back, I see them all, every one of them. Check out RH Blood, MRC-5 in your food. The Ethereans, Operation Rainbow, Project Lincoln, Project Looking Glass, which we know about. In regards to the occult, the third eye is bullshit. Your pineal gland is the seat of your soul, is what I believe. Just from what I've read and encountered and what it does. And the fact that it regulates the light in our bodies, I find very interesting. So if you're a person that lives in the darkness and you're like sleeping all day, because that's what you claim to be and that's the light that you live, And some people do it without, helping it because they have that type of a job. But what it does is it puts you in a place that isn't necessarily good because it's changing your uh, gland stuff. Because the pineal gland is super important. It's like what's coming in, what's coming in, darkness or light, goodness or evil. And things to remember also is the occult runs on blood, sacrifice, silencing, and rituals. The joy of Satan is killing the pineal gland or any other physical way we can hear from God. They try and silence us with masks, gags, fear, and control. They use sacrifice to Moloch Baal, baby abortions, and human sacrifice. It's on the calendar. It says it right there, 14 a year. Go look it up. It's online and available for everybody to see. Blood, we've got vampires, adrenochrome junkies, and the blood rituals for the Satanists and the witches. And if you don't think there's witches, all you got to do is go down to Florida or Louisiana, and you can pretty much go anywhere and find a voodoo doctor or any other kind of spiritualist, psychic, anything like that. And what do you think they are? Come on. And there's no difference between white and black. A witch is a witch. And if you don't like that, you can, I don't really care with it. A witch is a witch. If you're performing rituals of any kind or anything that's witchy poo witchy, you're a witch. And you don't belong in the church. Absolutely not. And if you're making potions for people, that's another thing. I have issues with Young Living stuff. And I'm not saying they are or anything. I'm just like, I'm bringing up apothecary stuff. What is apothecary stuff? Things that they make, things that they process, they put through a certain set of processes. And it's like, I know these things because I play Skyrim. And it's like a lot of this stuff the kids are being subjected to in the games more than they're being subjected to in real life. But they're learning more about real life in gaming than they are in real life because real life sucks right now. That's why kids don't want to be out doing stuff. Because people are fucked up and they're rude and obnoxious and mean and ugly and they're all acting like monsters. They got the fruit of the monsters. That's something I want to. Monster fruit. It's all rotten. Piers Anthony, I'll bring him. Great. And it's like, God has mercy on all creatures. And it's like, to me, I'm like, there has got to be there had to have been good giants and bad giants. Most of them were bad, I'm sure, because they were like eating people to sate their needs. But there had to have been good giants. There had to have been, because we wouldn't have gotten a lot of information that we got, like maps. Hello? How do you think we got them old ancient maps? Think we flew up in a plane? Hello? Mr. Giant, could you do a topography map for me over the world, please? Can you even hear me? Can you even see me, Mr. Giant? I can't wait until we take everything back and we go in and we take back the Smithsonian stuff that they've hidden from us and go in there and just ransack it and bring it all out and replace all the garbage that they put in the museums, and we go in and we put all the stuff that we found that they hid from everybody, that they said that we were all, not me, but the other people said that we were crazy. We're talking about, we can't find that. What are you talking about? Yeah, bring all that shit out and put those museums up, and then we'll have some world fairs then, won't we, mofos? Yeah. Them and their dang blood rituals and incantations and curses and bullshit. It's like I turn that, when I'm around it, I turn that stuff right back on them. Rebuke it. Anything that they try to put on me, bring it back to them threefold. I don't put up with this shit anymore, people. I'm telling you. It's war. We're at war. Have spiritual eyes, or at least learn to grow them. I used to follow Praying Medic, but I'm not right now because I don't know what's going on. There's too much questionable stuff that everybody's doing, and I don't like it. Let's see. The Book of the Case of Treasures. There's a Gleason's azimuthal equidistant map that I'm researching. I think it's one of the names of the fallen, and I found that kind of interesting. I think that's why I wrote it down. I'm looking up, I'm doing on strongholds, keystones, cornerstones. There's what I think that we're in, and we continually to be thrust into and out of, is shifting paradigms. I don't necessarily know if it's a dimensional shift, but sometimes I feel stuff that doesn't make sense in any way whatsoever. Like one day I was sitting here and I just moved like that, and it was like this whole wave shift thing just went over me, and I'm like, what the hell is that? So I think things like that are happening just because people are doing stupid shit like trying to open portals through rituals, which this stuff is available for them to find and access. And this is what's so bad about, in a way, about the internet, is the access to all this information. And they've basically used it against us. And we've let them. I've got a lot of stuff written down here that is incomplete gibberish to me. Yeah, and we have something going on here in our town. They have dispensaries here, and they have, and I don't know how many other states are doing this, but they have the state tax for the dispensary items, but then they have a city tax, and if you're a resident of the city, you don't have to pay it. But everybody that comes in to visit the dispensaries, because they don't have any in the town adjacent to it, which is where 95% of the people that go to the dispensary are from, they get charged an automatic $5 besides the tax. It doesn't matter who it is, and it's on per 100. So if you spend 200, you get an additional $10. If you spend 300, it's an additional yeah, and it just keeps adding up. So who's getting that money? And it definitely, the only thing that they've done with it, and this has been here 5 years or more, is they did a new pavement road from in this town into the adjacent town. And the buses that we have to ride into this town to go to the dispensaries are so dilapidated that they're so dilapidated, these buses, that old people can't ride in them. They'll break their bones. That's how bad they are. And I am not exaggerating one bit. I am completely straight up telling the truth. I do not see old people riding these buses anymore. They have to call the special buses and probably pay extra because it's bad. It's really, really bad. I'm gonna put a body cam on, definitely challenging myself. Curious about that watch thing though, and the purses. The watches and the purses. What is it? Gucci bags and Gucci watches. Sometimes I wonder why I'm here. So what if you? No. Let's see. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't large FM anymore. Do that. Let's see. What else is left? Not much. Let's see. Then I have a whole other art stuff. I also got a lot of other stuff. Hemocyan, scorpions, spiders, octopus, squid, and snails have venom. To do. Jane, I was looking up blood for this particular one. There's blue blood, there's green blood, there's purple blood, there's clear blood, which would be like in the horseshoe crab before oxygen hits it. There's yellow blood. Yeah, interesting, right? That's a whole interesting research thing. I've talked about under the ocean cities and building. Also, we'll talk about illusion of scarcity, stargates in Antarctica. I found one. I think that's where I need to go next is do a Google Earth run on Antarctica again. About the fine line, the white line again. What volcanoes really are. I think that's it. Then I have PowerPoints and book readings and fireside chats. And I'm just really having a hard time, folks. Prayers accepted. Binding and loosing. I'll spend 15 minutes and then we'll get out of here. I don't see anybody in it anywhere. Okay, so where I started with this is binding and loosing and learning about it. That words matter, power encounters, hearing angels sing, fire and truth, commands of faith, distinguishing of spirits, command of control through the name of Jesus, of demons, not people, hands getting tingly and warm to hot when praying, other manifestations of it. Now, when I use manifestations of the Spirit, in a way of mercy and grace and love, then we're talking about the Holy Spirit. If we're talking about manifesting presence and principalities and powers and things like that, then that's the bad stuff. I'm getting cold now. I'm having a hot cold issue, and it's not flashes. It's something's going on. I think my body's fighting. When confronting demons, one must speak to them in the name of Yeshua and by and through his authority and blood. Words of binding or healing can also be said directly to the infirmity, to the sickness or the damage of the body. Always depend and rely on the Holy Spirit. When you a prayer that I pray a lot when I go places or I visit chat rooms is, Spirit, I open myself up to you and this room up to your presence and your leading. Please come and fill this place. In Yeshua's name. Come, Holy Spirit, come, I say a lot. Because I believe that professing things with our lips is what God's to do, because we are representations of Him. So if we're calling upon Him to be with us, these are the things that we must do. When talking about religious spirits, remember that each one is its own has its own specific name, its own specific job, like the spirit of perversion, the spirit of pride, the spirit of fear, the spirit of control. These are things that manifest themselves in people's actions, in their fruit. And that's how we can see her and call them out. But it doesn't, we'll get there when it comes to binding and loosing. We'll get there. But there's a lot of things involved between A and point Z that until we get to like O, that's when it starts getting really messy. And then we have to be clear about things. But just knowing what we're working with and the authority and what we're is super important. Let me go ahead. I'm going to skip that one, go right into the binding and loosing. I'm not quite there yet. Power and authority through prayer and fasting is what I believe Jesus talking about when the disciples come back and they say that they couldn't cast out that particular demon. And I think Jesus says that, well, that particular demon, you would need to, prayer and fast in order to get that demon. So there are certain aspects that we have to know about before we can just jump in, and do stuff. The kingdom, power, and authority through Christ and through the blood and in Yeshua's name, and rebuking Satan and demons by the blood and tearing down strongholds in Yeshua's name. and exercising spiritual power in Yeshua's name. So these are things that are like super important. Loosing, binding. Also, I'm kind of skipping because I have a lot of jumping through this book that I've been adding research to. And I want to get the miscellaneous things out of the way before I start on the binding and loosing. I figured we could do that until we meet a certain time, and then we'll pop out of here and then again tomorrow. Now tomorrow I will be earlier because it's Sabbath, or we may go into, if I can get everything running and up and running, then I might be able to do it. We'll see. Aggressive prayers, pressing the battle to the gates. I brought that up before. Isaiah 28:6. It's basically the power to shut and open. Making God's words personal when speaking or praying for self. When it comes to binding and loosing, it's actually the power to shut and open. And we'll get into the reasons why we would need to shut or open anything. Psalms 110 is a good psalm. Then we go into the armor, and we'll be spending a lot of time on that. I've got several art stuff on for that one. I can't believe how much research I've done on this stuff. I mean, look at this. That's just one page. I have like 20 pages. But it's important. It was important for me to understand. Even as I was going through it, it wasn't making sense in my mind because of I understood it to be before. So as I was doing this, I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense. This isn't making sense. Why isn't this making sense? Now I understand. Now it makes sense. I have a lot of words, Hebrew and Greek words that I'll be going over. Like palal, to pray, to intercede, even for those who wrong us, when pressing the battle to the gates. Tefillim, which means prayers. Years of communing with God brings an unbelievable authority, depth, and sweetness to a believer. Thanksgiving, praise, intercession, pleas for spiritual help, requests for healing or material blessings, immediate relief from distress, danger or disaster, or seeking guidance. You always need to be seeking God for everything. It just, except, carnal garbage. There's a word here that I'll be spending time about, and I'll probably finish with this one. Let's see. Oh, my goodness gracious. Now we got a couple more things. Proseuchomae. It's a Proseuchomai. A strong element of worship included in this prayer word. Then there's another word here, enteuxis, Enteux, to boldly approach the throne of God, the Father in petition of another. Those are the ones that God truly answers almost immediately. I can't begin to tell you how many times He's done that when I've prayed for people and for Him to help them. And He's just been so gracious and loving and merciful. I just can't begin to tell you how important it is to pray for them, because sometimes you're all they got. Praying over your food, your Bible time, intimate prayer that boldly draws near to God. Prayer has tremendous privileges and is answered with tremendous displays of power. Prayer is nothing less than entering into the presence of the Almighty and receiving all the resources of the eternal. Basically, the gifts of the kingdom, really. The bottom line on Antexius prayer is relationship. We meet with the Lord. The wait upon the Lord shall exchange their strength for His. An unhurried intimacy is developed. We share our gratitude, our appreciation, and our thanks for His merciful long suffering and gracious benefits He has bestowed upon us. He invites us to present our petition, our pleas, our prayers, and our interceding for someone in great need. It's an ongoing process of waiting on the Lord, waiting with the Lord, and waiting for the Lord. I think I'll end with that. I think that I couldn't end with anything better than that. I wish you all the best and blessings to everyone watching this. And I pray that God looses the kingdom of God in your life. And that we all learn how to start being there for each other spiritually, not necessarily physically, because a lot of us only get support via online. I think the last time I had a hug was from a bus driver that I knew a long time ago, that I saw, probably a month ago. So hug your friends, hug your loved ones, tell them that you love them. It matters. Take care. God bless you all. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. Hi. Where am I? I'm somewhere in Colorado.